Let's move on now to the third question. And the third email today comes to us from Vince Lang, who writes, John, did you see the director's list for The Mandalorian? And did you see the picture? Exactly like you were describing, a gritty Western feel. My expectations are now through the roof. What are you thinking about it right now? All right, so as you guys know, the other day we talked about how Jon Favreau came out and said the title of his new Star Wars live-action show, the very first Star Wars live-action show in history, is called The Mandalorian, and he described it like an old Western, a Mandalorian gunfighter on the outskirts of the galaxy. Sounds amazing. Sounds like a fistful of dollars in the Star Wars universe. Sounds great. But the news got better because, like you can see in the sidebar here, they've already begun production, and the first official production picture has come out. You can see it here. That is a badass looking Mandalorian. I love the look of the character. He looks terrific. So it's a great picture. However, it is still just a still image. There are still images from the garbage Transformers movies that look good. So just because an image looked good doesn't mean anything. The real thing to get excited about here was they listed off the directors for the 10-episode first season. And it is a hell of a list of directors. Starting off, this is going to make a lot of Star Wars fans happy. The showrunner of the animated shows Clone Wars and Rebels, Dave Filoni, is one of the directors of the series. He's going to be directing the pilot and perhaps another episode as well. On top of that, you got the director of What We Do in the Shadows and Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, which everybody is clamoring for this guy to direct a whole bunch of stuff. He's going to be directing one or two of the episodes. You also got the acclaimed director of Dope, Rick Famuyiwa, is going to be directing this thing as well. And somebody that we only really know as an actress, and that's Bryce Dallas Howard, whose short film Soulmates got a lot of attention. She's never directed a feature film. Neither has Dave Filoni, at least nothing live action. But this is the type of thing where directors like this should be cutting their teeth. Episodes of live action shows like this. I think this is a perfect thing for Dave Filoni to do. I think this is a perfect thing for Bryce Dallas Howard to do. Having Taika and Rick in there as well is nothing but exciting. The other interesting note about Bryce Dallas Howard is this is kind of like keeping it in the family. Because Bryce Dallas Howard is kind of George Lucas's niece in a way. Of course, because Bryce Dallas Howard is Ron Howard's daughter. Ron Howard, who just directed Solo and who worked with George Lucas way back in the day and was kind of a mentor to Ron Howard, right? So you got Bryce Dallas Howard, who's kind of a spiritual niece to George Lucas, joining it as well. Look, guys, I think everybody's going to get excited about this. I think everybody's got to get excited about this. Now, I understand there's a bunch of people that have some pessimism about Star Wars right now. Totally understandable. Nothing wrong with that. But I think even the most pessimistic person about the Star Wars universe right now has got to be sitting back and going, okay, gritty Western style with a Mandalorian, written and showrun by Jon Favreau. You got Dave Filoni directing the premiere. You got Taika Waititi, Rick. You got Bryce Dallas Howard. All of them. I mean, even if you're pessimistic, you've got to feel at least a little bit of optimism about that. Again, none of this guarantees that this show is going to be any good. It could be a hot, steaming pile of shit for all we know. But at least on the surface, you got to admit this looks pretty good. And that director list to me is just really impressive. And finally, Lucasfilm giving Dave Filoni an opportunity to direct something live action. See, my big objection when people say Dave Filoni should direct a Star Wars movie, I'm like, I don't want a dude who's never directed a live action thing in his life making the first live action film he directs some huge tentpole project like a Star Wars movie. Give him something else to cut his teeth on. This is the exact sort of thing that is perfect for him to cut his teeth on. So to me, this is super exciting all the way around. What do you guys think about this? Are you excited about the director's list? Are you disappointed? Jump down to the comments section and let me know. All right. We move on now to the final email of the day.